I used a piece of styrene. I've got a big roll, really big roll of styrene sheet. I put a tiny little bit of CA glue on each one of the gears, glued them to it, then traced them out. Don't know why I traced them out, which, I mean, that was kind of pointless, but anyway, traced out the gears, and I had drawn with a, what is this, .07 pencil, drew my holes for the shafts, and then I used center punch, a little steel block. You see my punctures on there where I laid it on there and center punched each one of the holes. And yes, I did this to the styrene first. Once I got the holes drilled out to the right size for each of these shafts, I transferred these holes over to this piece of brass. You can see the blue ink on it. That was from, wrong one. Permanent marker, blue. Then I used a stainless steel rod that I've made into a hook scriber. If I can get this to focus. This is a very tiny hook. This is not going to focus. Use it there. You see there's a tiny little hook on there. I put that in the hole of each one of the gears, and yes, I did super glue the gears to the brass just like I did the plastic, and then I scribed around. After I got a base mark, I used a second one that's not got a hook on it to make sure that they were on the very outside. Then I center punched each one of these holes and had to duplicate it on this one. That bottom gear, I don't know what it's out of. I did have to thin it a little bit to match up more with the Orlandoo gears, but it's an 8-tooth gear. Is that 8? Yeah, 8-tooth gear. And I want to say that the Orlandoos are 16-tooth, so I don't really know. Actually, I don't know. I've not counted those. I have once before and forgot. Anyway, I don't remember what the Orlandoo gears are, but that'll be a significant gear reduction. The small 8-tooth gear spins extremely fast compared to the other ones, to the Orlandoo gears. Ignore the gear that's underneath there, that's just to hold it up level. The sleeves that I'll be using for the bearings, and this bearing did get soldered in with the sleeve. You see the sleeve on here. The sleeves are 22 shells, ammunition casings. This one, I don't remember what it is, but it's just a little bit bigger than a 22, and it fits the bigger bearings. These are OH35 P01 Raptor truck gears and pinions, or bearings, I mean. So I'm going to have to get more of the discs for my cutoff wheels. and I'm gonna have to split this into 4 pieces, and I'll have to utilize every little micromillimeter of it, because that's the only one that I have that's the right size. And it'll probably do the same thing and solder the bearings in. So this one's just free floating right now. It's just sitting here. This one is tightened up on one of these gears. Also, this ammunition casing right here, I have removed material from the inside of it, and the gear fits in it. So I can remove more material and use that as an outer shell, outer sleeve around the gears. I have plenty more of it. It actually fits better in this half, and it rolled away. So it fits better in this half than it does this half, or this piece, because ammunition casings taper inside. The bottom is thicker than up here. So I can remove plenty of material from it on the inside with I was using diamond round diamond burr, flat-sided. Nothing's wanting to focus tonight. To remove the material from the inside. I don't know if I can get this done right. Let me set my phone down. Put it up on my steel block here. This is going to be sized to fit. It's upside down. Inside one of my mud truck chassis, and it does hang down quite a bit. Knocking stuff off my desk. It does hang down quite a bit further. It won't be a motor mount. It's just a transfer case. It's prototyping. I'm not sure how it's going to work out. Like I said, I've already soldered one bearing into it. Yeah. Motor mount would have to be somewhere else, front or rear. This is the front of this chassis. It would have to be somewhere away from it, and then have a drive shaft running to the top PO1 pinion gear, or I could flip it upside down, have it spinning the fast gear from the motor, the small gear, and then use this as the drive shaft's connection. So I'm trying to make it where it would be reversible. Small gear on top, little gear on bottom. I said that backwards. I said that completely wrong. What is it, like 2 in the morning almost? Yeah. I messed around with this for a couple of hours today. My soldering iron's still on. I had to turn my overhead fan off and all the lights off in my room because of the heat. And the fan was, I have to have the soldering iron hot. The fan was cooling it too much, and inevitably it never did get hot enough. So I had to use a disposable lighter to braze that together, and I dropped that on the floor. I'm guessing that's where I messed up though, because I got to get that bearing out of there. It does still spin. The bearing does still spin. I'm going to try and pick this up and show the rotation of it. Let me see if I can get my phone to set up right. I'm not going to do like I did the other night on one of my videos and flip the camera around and stuff. I'll just go this far with it. See if I can get this to rotate right on the camera. Get it to focus at the same time. Sometimes it wants to cooperate and sometimes it doesn't. There we go. out in a bind right away. It likes to bind because there's nothing really there holding that middle bearing, middle gear. And of course,